Hello, welcome to another new video. This is the Cougar 2 Works classic drive shafts, the metal drive shafts. These drive shafts were quite infamous. I've got a set in my Cougar 2 Team Edition. They are very, you call, tasty, very tasty. Before the re-release of this model, these drive shafts were like rocking horse poo-poo. Very difficult to get hold of. People did not want to let go of them. But anyway, now the infamous drive shafts are back with us because of the reworks. That is awesome stuff in it, people. Awesome stuff. So in this video, I'm going to try my best to build or put these together. Technically, it is not a difficult job. It's not difficult at all. If you've got the right, I won't say temperament, not the right temperament, not even the right facilities or the right tools. But if you're building something that does not have issues that are like stealth issues that you discover along the way, then it's very easy. These are very straightforward. But unfortunately, if you watch this video like a bit further, you'll discover that I stumbled across stealth issues. I just assumed that these would go together quite nicely. So at this moment in time, I'm quite calm, but it does get a bit frantic. I wouldn't say frantic. Let's say annoying. But anyway, you'll have to watch it and find out. I'm not going to spoil it for you. But you might even come across the same issue. But hope not, people. So anyway, let's carry on with the simple build. And we are going to modify these or upgrade them. We are going to upgrade because these, don't forget, these are standard. These drive shafts are not an upgrade. They are standard. So if you fancy purchasing an upgrade for these standard metal drive shafts, you can buy roller bearings to replace the, what we call them, metal bushers. I'm going to call them metal bushers. Tiny things. You see them on the screen in my right hand. Tiny. Very tiny. But anyway, I upgraded my standard metal drive shafts with these ball racers. And if you want the part number of these tiny, tiny bearings, it is U8798. Let me just give you a bit of a warning. You get 2 per bag. Here they are, look, pesky little things. You get 2 bearings per bag. So if you want to order some of these upgrades, because they are an upgrade, you need 2 bags. Don't inadvertently order 1 bag, because you could assume that 1 bag does the drive shafts, but it doesn't. You need 2 bags. Don't make that mistake. But anyway, they're a very, very nice fit, these tiny roller bearings. They click in place. I used my universal pliers to apply these bearings. But anyway, I'm putting on plenty of moly. By the way, I have speeded this up because it is a task and a half, this simple job, a task and a half. So at this moment in time, I have not stumbled across the stealth minefield. I am blissfully building. But I'm not sure if other people come across this issue. You have to let me know in the comments, because I didn't expect this issue. I just thought the plastic caps that I've attached to these drive shafts, I expected them to go in quite freely, but they surprised me. They surprised me, and I didn't realize what the issue was until I took affirmative action. But anyway, let's not spoil the video for the viewer, because you will find out eventually how I solve this issue. So you would think now, first stage complete, easy peasy, you're thinking. These metal drive shafts, these infamous metal drive shafts, go together really easy. And of course we have got O-rings. Why not? Put an O-ring on everything. Why not? They are, I think they're just to retain the pin, or do they actually seal at the same time? I'm not really sure. But anyway, let's concentrate on the build. So I was saying before that these drive shafts were originally on the works, but everyone came across them or saw them first on the Team Edition Cougar 2. That's where they first showed their faces, these metal drive shafts. They are very good. You can actually get replacement drive shafts. If you've got a classic, you can get some of these, and if you've got a top cat, these will fit also. But be aware, do not purchase the what do you call it now? Do not purchase the works drive shafts, because there is a slight difference. I'm not too sure what they are, to be fair. They must be either slightly shorter or slightly bigger. I don't know. I should really compare them. I have ordered some metal drive shafts for my I'm not going to say classic, because I'm not going on that, and I'm not going to go on my classic Top Cat. They're going to go on my custom build Top Cat, the metal drive shafts. If you want the part number for the classic drive shafts that fit the XLS, the Pro Cat, Top Cat, and Cougar, it is U8680. That is the part number for the XLS, Pro Cat, Top Cat, and Cougar metal drive shafts. Very cheap, £24.99, and you don't get the upgraded ball races standard. So if you want to upgrade them, you've got to buy extra bearings. Okay, because technically these are an upgrade for those. You'd think you'd get the upgraded bearings in them, but you don't. But anyway, we're not bothered about that. Now, at the moment, I forgot what we were doing. Oh yes, I'm discovering my issue. My black plastic bush will not sit in place. I thought this would go in quite easily. I have applied the molly to try and slide it in. My brain is trying to work out the issue. I've got a funny feeling at this point that the black bush, would you call it a bush? I'm going to call it a black plastic bush, is not going where it's supposed to go. Okay, so it's not an issue. Well, it is. It's a pain in the ass. But let's not call it that, because we do discover eventually the method. There is a secret method to getting these black bushes in place. If you struggle, there's a secret tool. I think most people will have one, but you may well have it ready. If you bought one of these works and you're going to build your drive shafts, have one of these special tools ready, because I think you might need one. I wasn't expecting to need one. These did mash my head, because they did. I just thought about use my bony fingers. Bony fingers are normally quite tough, and I thought I would be able to push them in. But at this point, bony fingers are not working. Plus, you got to remember, these the replacements or spares, because the new model came out, they're quite hard to get hold of, go out of stock very quickly. So if you damage these trying to put them together, you cause yourself more issues. This is why I'm trying to be careful not to damage said metal drive shafts. See, I'm trying to think to myself, why isn't the black bush going in? Why is it not going in? It's because as I discover, it is deformed, it is not a perfect shape. But at this point, I don't realize, well, I do realize there's an issue, but I come to realize that I have to take drastic action to get these models in place, unfortunately. So let's just recap to the novice builder. You've purchased your works, you're building your drive shafts, you fitted your upgraded bearings. You think to yourself, oh, this is quite easy peasy. But then you discover that your black bush has got a burr on it, or your black bush is slightly deformed, and you have to take drastic action. Would you call it drastic or affirmative action? Or just standard? I don't think this is a standard issue. I think it might be a rare issue, but people might be having this issue. Let us know in the comments. I would like to know if anyone else had this black bush issue. So my plan I have in place is that I'm going to give the bushes a file. I'm going to file off the burr, and I'm going to get my secret weapon. I do have a secret weapon ready to fit these in place. And make sure, if you do it this way, make sure you have the correct tools, correct sizes, because you don't want to damage anything. Or if stuff is in stock, then it's not a problem. See, I was being uber careful. My default setting is careful, mainly because stuff costs money and I don't want to damage stuff. See, trying to damage my hand then, foolishly. I thought my hand with a bit of a tool would push it in place, but no, not at all. We are talking affirmative action on these models. I mean, I would really love to know if anyone else had this issue. I mean, it's took me a while to work out that the pesky, let's call them the pesky black, I'm going to call it a bush, will not sit in place. I've used two tools so far. I've used my bony fingers and I've used my socket driver, which I thought they would go in with bashing my hand on the socket driver foolishly, but no. So, well, this realistically, I reckon if someone gave me a pair of these to put together, it would probably take 20 minutes. 20 minutes, knowing that there could be an issue, knowing the method to resolve the issue. See, they're the main things, you see. If you know the method to resolve the issue, then 2-minute job. 2 minutes, here you go, bashing my hand on the bush. So if you don't want to damage your hand, people, get a secret weapon. And my secret weapon of choice, well, I've decided to file down the burr. That might be causing the issue. It probably was. I reckon it's a mixture of two things. Tight fit and a burr. So if you got both, you are not going to get these in using your bony fingers or the palm of your hand. So just be careful not to, one, hurt your hand, and two, damage your black bush. I don't know if you can buy these separately. Technically, I could have done with a couple of replacements, but I resorted to heavy hand tactics, which seem to do the trick. You can actually hear them going in place, to be fair. So if you listen closely when I attack these with the weapon of choice, so make sure you've got a socket driver exactly the right size. If you've got one exactly the right size, then this makes the job a lot easier. Do not shove anything in there, because you might damage the damaged black bush. Okay, you might damage it further. So I resorted to using a hammer, which to me, I'm thinking this is a good tool to do the right job at the right time. So if you feel that you need to do this, then give it a good bash, people. Bash it. You will hear it pop in place. I think I might have said bash it over it. I should really not talk over that. But we'll let you hear it next time. You can hear the pop. It makes a pop sound. Very strange. See, look, this is the one. Oh, you see, that is now in place. With my weapon of choice, I have bashed it. There you go. Knock it in, people. Make sure you smash it in. Don't damage anything. So I believe that this was caused mainly because my part was deformed slightly, and they had both of them had burrs on. I did file both of them, so I don't know how or why they had slight burrs on. So I filed both of them just to make sure, and they do go in after a good hammering. So the short of the story is, make sure you got a hammer ready. Double check for burrs, because this isn't a difficult task. It's just the fact, certain elements where you don't want to damage your stuff, you don't know if you can order separate bits. All these things were going through my Swede while I was trying to fit these without damaging them. So this is why I'm being very, very careful. Because who wants to damage new stuff? I don't. I want to get it fitted. Mainly, I want to get it fitted without damage. And I don't want to have to order stuff because it won't fit properly. So mainly, make sure you've got the right tool for the job. And give it a good bash. So you might think, oh, why you got your hammer sideways? I didn't want to slip and miss, because bony fingers and hammers don't communicate well together. Something always hurts. Oh dear. So realistically, just make sure you got the appropriate tools. Make sure you got your wrench and your hammer. Your hammer will do a very good job of getting these in place. And if you've got a nice wrench to use, I would say try and get one exactly the right size. That is a 5.5. Or yes, that's a 5.5. That's the one I normally use on my nuts. I do like to use a 5.5 on my nuts. It's a good size. And it does fit into the alloy driveshaft quite nicely. So that's it. I've solved the issue. I hope that is clear what you need to do. It is you've either got really, really strong fingers, a lot stronger than my bony fingers, that is, or you use a hammer. And I suggest just use a hammer, because you will save a lot of time, an awful lot of time using a hammer. Makes sense, people. It makes sense. Just bash it. Give it a good bashing. There you go. Perfect. And don't be scared. If you've got the right hammer, you got the right wrench, I don't believe you can do any more damage. Or any damage, sorry. I don't think you can do any damage. I know, this has become a job, hasn't it? Look at it. This has become a job. We're supposed to enjoy our RC. This is an enjoyable task. It's not a job. Unfortunately, it ended up feeling like a job because it wouldn't go in. And then this is it. That's it. That's basically it then, people. The easy bit, or say, AKA, it should have been the easy bit, is done. And now it's just putting the end caps on. And I don't know, I should have put the crucibles on at this point, or should I do it afterwards? I've not even fitted them to the gearbox at this point. So it's going to be a crucible fest of trying to get the drive shafts together. You know what I mean by crucibles, the actual crosses, the links that puts these universal, what do you call them, universal joints? I think they're known as crucibles, aren't they? Oh, I don't matter. You know what I mean. The awkward pass. Now, what's more difficult? Eclipse or fitting the universal crucibles to the drive shafts? I think the Eclipse are quite straightforward. I think the crucibles for the drive shafts are more pesky. Can someone design a handle, please? I would like someone to design a handle for the crucible tool, because my bony fingers can't really take many more crucibles. That car, is it GPS, glass reinforced plastic? It's not carbon fiber. It's glass reinforced plastic. That's the tool. That's what it's made of. It does kind of cut into your fingers after you've pushed a few in, and I'm not sure if my bony fingers can take any more. I could really use is there a third party designer that can design a simple handle for the glass reinforced plastic tool that puts the crucibles onto these drive shafts? Because that job outweighs the Eclipse. Eclipse are easy. I can do Eclipse in my sleep, but the crucibles, I can do them in my sleep, but they hurt my hand, man. I don't like the tool digging into my hand. I mean, you can warm up the ends, but then again, you don't want to dip your metal drive shafts into hot water. You don't really want to do that. So anyway, you've seen my problem and you've seen my solution. So the solution is, make sure you've got a hammer. Check your black inserts for burrs. The actual upgraded the upgraded bearings are quite easy to attach. So they're not difficult. If you've got a nice big wide open pair of pliers, they go on quite squarely, so they're not a problem. The upgraded bearings are easy. The black bushes should be straightforward if you've got strong hands. If you struggle, check for burrs, get a hammer, get a wrench, and knock them in. I think you'll get the job done a lot easier than I did. But anyway then, people, I think once this O-ring is on, drive shafts are done. Thank goodness. And now I know the potential issues when I build them for my custom Top Cat. They'll probably take about 10 minutes. I'll not be struggling with these models again. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and laters.